I wanna settle down.
Hey guys, welcome back to Live, Love, Life, and Travel. This is your girl Shamika, and this is Fast the Cat. If you're new here, welcome. Just to let you know, I upload throughout the week. I talk about love, I talk about travel, I talk about health, I talk about sex, I talk about everything in between. So if you're interested, please hit that subscribe button. Alright, today I wanted to talk about being homesick as a solo traveler. So being homesick or getting homesick is going to happen at some point in your travels. And I talked about this like a while ago, but for most solo travelers or long-term travelers or people who live abroad that I spoke to, you really feel the homesickness about 3 or 4 months into your travel, especially as a solo traveler. I remember the first time I had my first bout of really like bad homesickness. Like I felt like depressed. And it lasted for like 2 weeks where I was like so sad. All I wanted to do is like, all I wanted was like a hug from like a friend or a family member or a phone call or something. And it's almost like sometimes when you like need your friends to be around the most, not like when you're going through a hard time where you just need to talk to someone or hear someone's voice. It's like that's when everyone's busy and no one has time to talk to you. And that's kind of like what was happening. One of the great things about solo traveling is also one of the things you might start to even resent when you first start traveling, which is meeting so many new amazing people. But for the most part, all these people are in transit. They're moving on. And so as soon as you feel like you have a BFF for life, they've moved on. And you start to almost feel like you don't want to meet new people because all they're going to do is break your heart and leave you anyway. And also, like, it's great, like, traveling, you can almost reinvent yourself anyway. Like, people don't know you, so you can almost start over, or you can be almost who you truly always were because you're not really that afraid of being judged because, again, these people are in transit. If they don't like you, you may never see them again anyway. But also, that's one of the things you start to resent sometimes when you first start solo traveling is all these people don't really know who I am. You get frustrated when people misunderstand you or they don't get your point of view or they judge you for your point of view. And you miss having people around you that just love you and accept you, and no matter what you do is never going to leave you or never going to judge you. They're always going to be there. They're your family, they're your friends, they're your ride or dies. And you start to sort of miss that. Like, oh, if my friend was here, I wouldn't have to explain myself all the time. Like, they would get where I'm coming from. They wouldn't judge me. Or if my friend was here, like, oh my god, this would be so much better because we both would have our little thing or whatever. Like, so you start to miss just your regular folks that's always around you when you're back at home. And that can be really hard for some people to deal with. Like, I know people who stop traveling because they just that distance between their family and friends was just too much for them to deal with or bear. And so they just go home because they can't take it. For the most part, if you just stick to it, it will pass. Like, it's not going to feel that way forever. The feeling I had, they're like depressive, like, oh my gosh, all I want is my family right now or my friends, it went away. And for a long time, I didn't really feel homesick again because one of the things that you realize when you're traveling is that your family and friends are always going to be there for you. Of course, you got to do your part too. Like, I'm really bad at like calling people. I'm like that kid that just doesn't ever call my parents. So you have to still like, work on a relationship even from a long distance. But even if they never, even if they don't see you for months and years, like, that your family is always going to be there, and your real friends, your true ride or die friends, they're not going anywhere either. And it makes you realize how blessed or lucky that you are, that you have people in your life that they're always going to be there. So there's no reason to panic or worry. They're not going anywhere. And so that's one of the things that I realized. So now that it's been a tiny bit over 2 years since I've been traveling and living abroad, do I still feel homesick? I still get homesick. Like, I've been home once in between, but other than that, I haven't been home, and I do feel a sense of missing LA and missing my old routine or life in LA. I miss my BFF, like, always. Like, I miss her so much. I miss my family. And sometimes, like, you get so used to being over here. Sometimes I have to remind myself, like, oh my gosh, I'm in Thailand, and sometimes that distance, how far you are actually from your family and friends, sometimes gonna hit you. And so I do still feel homesick, and I still miss LA. I miss my friends, I miss my family, I miss sometimes my old routines, but at the same time, like, not enough to leave, not enough to like stop traveling. I do think at some point I'll stop continuously traveling, and I'll do like 4 or 6 months at home and then 4 or 6 months traveling, or half and half, something like that, because you do realize how nice it is to have something that's yours. Like, I think I mentioned in another video, like having that duvet cover that's your cover, or that trinket, or that something that's yours that makes it feel like that's your home and that's your place. You do miss that when you're traveling. So at some point I will have that, but I think, again, just knowing that my family and my friends are always going to be there, is no need for me to have this panic feeling of, oh my gosh, I miss home, when am I going to see them again? I'm going to see them again. So if you feel that, if you're traveling and you get that little ache in your heart, it will pass. At the same time, you might not just be the type of person that can be away from the family and friends. You have to do what's best for you, and if you feel like it's just you're not even enjoying your travels because you miss home so much, then maybe it is time to go home. But I encourage you to hold on, because it will pass. You always are going to sometimes miss, your family, your friends, your old life. But for the most part, like, it's still there. It's not going anywhere. I visit home already, and guess what? Nothing ever changes. It's always there. It's always the same. The same people are there. So don't worry. Don't panic. And if you are thinking about traveling as a solo traveler, will you miss home? Will you get homesick? Will you get lonely sometimes? I mean, loneliness and homesickness is two different things. But yes, all those things are going to happen. I already made a video about how to deal with loneliness. Like, you just got to be proactive and go out and make friends and be social and put yourself out there. Anyway, guys, that's it. That's my short little video about being homesick as a solo traveler. I have a video coming up shortly, a story time video about my first ever panic attack in Thailand. So stay tuned for that. Thank you, guys. If you like this video, please like it. If you want to share this video, guys, it really helps. Please share it. If you want to continue to follow me on this beautiful, crazy game called life, please subscribe. And if you subscribe, hit that bell to get the notifications when I do upload. Check out the links below. Bye, guys. Thanks.
Table for two. Won't you wine and dine with me?